And her death does come after the future of the war with Iran is increasingly uncertain. The price of oil soared to the highest level since May.
And a congressional attempt to force the president to end the war led to a split between the House and the Senate. Political reporter Marcia Kramer joins us now with more. Marcia.
Well, there were dueling votes in Congress as lawmakers tried to send the president a message that they want the nearly 5-month conflict to end. There were hotly contested debates in both chambers, but only the House was able to win over enough Republicans to tell the president to end the hostilities in the Middle East. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries coining a new name for the conflict as the affordability issues continues to hit home.
One of the main things that has changed as a result of that reckless and costly war of choice, Operation Epic failure, is that gas prices have dramatically increased.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, after Democrats, aided by 4 Republicans, succeeded in passing a measure demanding that President Trump end the war in Iran. A similar measure failed in the Senate. The president was unmoved by the vote.
We're doing very well against the Islamic Republic of Iran. We're doing extremely well. They would like to do something, but I say they're not ready yet. They need more of the same. They're not ready yet. They got some evil intentions.
Nevertheless, it was the second time the House rebuked the president for continuing the war, which today saw the price of oil hit $100 a barrel for the first time since May, as Iran's allies in Yemen struck 2 Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, raising fears that the widening war could shut off another crucial shipping route.
I think the Houthis, frankly, got snookered into this thing by the Iranians.
President Trump warned that if the Houthis strike in the Red Sea again, the U.S. will inflict a major military punishment against Iran and its Houthi allies.
We can't let them have what they want, which is nuclear weapons.
The war and soaring oil prices could affect the crucial midterm elections.
Do you think that it's going to be pocketbook issues like gas prices that are going to affect the midterms, or is it going to be just the continuing idea of we should be spending more on babies than bombs?
We don't have our allies with us in it, so American people don't like that. That is added upon the fact that the cost of living is going up. Gas prices back up over $4 a gallon. Food prices rising.
And with an eye on those midterm elections, the United States is continuing to look for a path to end the hostilities. Iraq's prime minister says that after meeting with the president recently, he now has a new ceasefire proposal to put to the Iranians.
Okay, Marcia Kramer, thank you.